Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Monster Train. I played a few runs off camera. I think I played like 4? No. 3? I'm not sure. Eventually got a win with the Umbra. And I noticed something funny, which should be apparent on this next screen here. No, actually. Only apparent in the logbook, I guess. Which is like there's a bit of a pattern to the factions that I have won with, right? Every game I have won involves the Awoken. I don't think that this means they're like way better than the others. It might mean that I understand them better than I understand the others, or it might just be that like I only have one playstyle and it happens to be a style that works out okay for the Awoken. Or maybe it's just a big old coincidence. But I was just like, I don't know, playing Umbra plus random, and I got Awoken, and then I won. And then like I played other stuff, and I lost. So at any rate, we've unlocked the Melting Remnant, which I will be giving a try with today. And also we're up to 6 Covenant rank, for what that's worth. So just like the Umbra, I have seen the Melting Remnant on YouTube, but not actually played them. They're candles, I guess? And there's this whole thing about like their wick burns out, and I don't know, man. So we'll do random allied clan, even though I'll apparently only have a chance of winning if I draw Awoken. Looks like we got Hellhorned. And so what are our special cards here? Okay, also the first spell card gains consume. I feel like this is a pretty good Seraph to draw. Like, rarely is running out of my important spell cards really what kills me. Maybe if I were Stygian Guard or something. But most of the time, I feel like I have enough junk spell cards that I can just toss in the garbage. And even if not, you only draw each card, like, what, 3 times in a long combat? Maybe 4? I don't know. Not more than that. Unless you're better than I am at thinning your deck, anyway. Okay, so Burnout is a really core mechanic, I guess you would say, of Remnant. Their units, some of them, have a burnout timer on them, and every turn this ticks down, and if it reaches 0, the unit is killed. So 0 burnout is the best amount to have, and 1 is the worst, because that means you're about to die, and higher numbers are better. Except for 0. So this is a way to add like more time to your melting candles, kind of. And what's this one? Deal damage to enemy units on one floor equal to 3 times the number of friendly unit deaths this battle. Interesting. I wouldn't expect that to get that high, but we'll see. And I think we were at Covenant rank 5 last time. Maybe only 4. But 6 is add a copy of the primary clan starter card to your starting deck. So there really is like just an absolute pile of junk that you get, right? Like the Ascension or Covenant penalties so far are really heavily focused on junking your deck, which is a thing that only happens once in Slay the Spire. At like Ascension 10? 13? I forget. And adding extra random cards to your starting deck is not necessarily that bad, actually. Like, Covenant 1 is not strictly bad. Sometimes it'll add good cards that you want. Like, I don't know, these Hallowed Drippings seem pretty cool. The Vents are, like, probably not that great. And a Fatal Melting, I don't know, I guess it's a rare. I don't love it, but what can you do? My point is just like so many of these just gain more garbage. And I happen to know Covenant rank 7 is add a copy of the Allied Clan starter card to your starting deck. So we're starting with like 4 dregs and then 3 torches, but it would be 4 if we were a higher level. And like 4 train stewards and a deadweight. So that's like 13 awful cards in your starting deck, right? You really have to work if you want to draw only good cards. And that's not even counting the random ones you start with, which might be good or might be bad. That's another 5, right? So you're kind of stuck with having some bad cards in your deck, it feels like to me. It's not like in Slay the Spire, you can eventually remove all your strikes and defense. It's work, but it can be done. And there are events that might help you. Anyway, so these both, excuse me, these both seem playable. How much does dregs cost? They cost 0. So I think we actually need some draw, and we have a lot of cards we can play in a turn. So I think I'll take Winged Steel here. Just a few videos ago, wasn't I talking about the difference between Winged and Winged? I feel like here, Winged is correct. I don't know why others. But for the... I don't know, actually. Maybe this is Steel belonging to the Winged. In which case it is Winged Steel. Maybe there's something about the meter that makes me think of Winged. Anyway, we haven't even, like... We've been recording for how long? And I'm just, like, blathering on about whatever. 6 minutes? Okay. So... Reform is another mechanic that they have. It adds a random... Well, okay, Reform in general targets a defeated friendly unit and adds it to your hand, making it stronger and costing 0, but with 1 burnout. So for units which already have one or more burnout, adding burnout is good. For units which didn't, adding burnout is bad. So, like, reforming a Train Steward kind of stinks because it just dies that turn. Reforming a Dreg and giving it, like, burnout 3, I don't know, seems cool. And here we could take Harvest plus 5. I want to try out this burnout thing, or, reform thing. I don't know. How much health do you really get out of this? Also, this guy is pretty weak. 10-10? It seems small for a champion. So, he's... In this form, he's definitely like a backline unit. Here, he could maybe go frontline. I'm not sure. I guess he's supposed to. Alright, enemy units appear on each floor, whatever, just give me the coins. And I have a bunch of dregs, which should help me with, like... I can apply many attacks per turn. Yeah, so, like, let's put him on the top floor... behind the Train Steward? The Train Steward will die. Okay. Doesn't seem terribly impressive. Oh, I got to draw cards! That's so great! Because now I can play a Dreg. I was hoping to have drawn some, but I didn't, and, like, I was sad. But here's one. I'll put him here, right? Yeah. I could put him here, and he would save the Train Steward. That would be a 5-3 without burnout, if I do this. If I do this, I have remaining a 9-3 with burnout 1. Well, I'd rather have a 5-3. And furthermore, I'd also rather have a Dreg be dead, so that when it gets reformed, I'm like... That's great, right? I want this unit to die. And I don't want another Train Steward to die. Because then I might accidentally reform him. So I'm going to actually give this more burnout. Even though it doesn't, like, matter because it's dying, I think when it gets reformed, it'll have burnout like 5 or 6 or something. No. So that enhancement that I applied to it doesn't carry over to when it's reformed. Interesting. Oh, well, a vent in there is pretty good, huh? So I want to spend my other 2 energy somewhere else, which I can't even do. But putting this guy in front here seems pretty great. I could actually put him not in front if I wanted to make sure that this dies. But I don't think I want that. I think I would be perfectly happy for it to live. Because then I get more attacks in. Oh my god, I get to draw more. This is so gross. Let's torch this. Honestly, I'm not that worried about 4 damage, really, so much as healing them is a little more dangerous for me. Put another dreg in the back. Give them all more burnout. And then blow this all up. Cool. There's something about the smoke over their head that looks very framey. Right? This does... Everything else in this game looks pretty smooth, but the smoke looks awful for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on there. Because he's killing the train steward, he's going to block my attack, so let's not let him do that. No, I have to put a dreg in, huh? Well, I'd rather the dreg be killed, because that I'm happier to reform. And then I could play a train steward in here to keep the dreg alive, which seems good. And then vent... Well, no. Train steward first, I guess. Oh my god, I draw again. Unbelievable. I'll never not be surprised by that. I'm really glad I took that artifact, by the way. This looks like a dreg and a train steward and then a torch. And I want the dragon back since it has the most attack. Alright. Oh, that's a good question. Burnout is every turn, right? Not like every combat? Yeah, turns. Okay. So these guys are gonna actually, like... The boss won't kill them, they'll just burn out. Well, there's not much I can do besides just vent here, so... Well... I could play 3 torches, and then I would draw... How much? 2. Do I want to draw these cards, or would I rather have them next turn? Well, right now apparently 3 units have died. Next turn 7 will have died. This would be 21 damage? I think I want to keep that for next turn, so I will not play 3 burns and instead will play a vent. Yeah, because it's guaranteed lethal, right? Oh, I did the math wrong. 5 units had died, not 3, and adding 4 was 9. That's why it's 27. Alright, well, no damage. That's cool. So what are our choices here? Purifying Cleanse, restore 10 health, and apply Burnout 2. So again, on a unit that is not burning out already, this is a negative to add 2 Burnout. But on a unit which is burning out, it's a positive. On the other hand, right now, none of my burnout units need health restored, really. Ah, Extinguish, I see. That's why it's called... I was wondering, like, Extinguish is a weird name for the triggered ability on enemies, but it makes sense on melting Remnant units. So that's why this effect is called Extinguish. Extinguish, apply stealth 1 to friendly units? I don't know. I don't really care about that so much. Reform 2 random units. I'm pretty meh on that. Like, it's obviously good to reform some units. But so far, our champion seems to be reforming stuff okay, and also none of my units are actually very good yet. Pretty soon, I'll draft some, hopefully, of course. But so I think if we're taking anything, it's this. And it is pretty good for when these dregs come back. Right? When they're already, like... How does reform again? +5, +5. So when they're, like, 14 8s... Restoring 10 health is a little useful, but I guess actually not all that good. Yeah, let's just try to keep the deck thin here. None of those are that impactful. Ascend. I think actually the strategy of jamming everything all together on one floor is less appealing as the Melting Remnant. Just because stuff kind of dies, and so cheating the capacity limit is not that important. Because let's say you cheat it up to 7, and then like some stuff just kind of dies all on its own, and you're back to normal. So you haven't really accomplished that much by breaking the capacity limits, it seems to me. Yeah, none of this seems good. All right, just give me the gold. Here we go. What's next? A Hellhorned unit. And upgrade my units. Well, okay. So what do I have available? I have the large stone. Upgrade a unit with extra burnout and extra stats. Okay. And upgrade with 25 health. Consumer of Crowns. Yeah. So I didn't... I don't remember if we've seen this guy before. At first I thought he was basically never playable because... If you have 2 imps in play, this guy costs 6 less, and therefore costs 4. And then, like, I was thinking, with the 2 imps, that's 2 capacity, and him, that's 3. Like, you can just barely fit him into a room that has 2 imps in it. I later found out that actually, unlike spells, which only care about stuff on the current floor, this guy cares about all imps. So you can play imps on one floor, and summon the Consumer of Crowns on, like, some other floor. So I can see how you might be able to play him now. Like, you can fit 3 imps somewhere and then summon this guy for 1, maybe. But not this deck. And this is just like a 10-25. It kind of sucks. Like, Rage is not a thing for us right now. I'm kind of sad about that. Because I really wanted a unit that does something. I mean, this is a 10-25, but those are not very good stats. I'm thinking I actually skip this and then upgrade one of the units I already have. With, like, you know, give a train steward extra health to guard some dregs, basically. It feels bad, but... I don't know, upgrade him again? A 2073 train steward? It's kind of appealing, isn't it? Alright. There you go. And I could give one of my dregs, like, more burnout. So you can attack more often. It seems okay. It's $20, and it's obviously an improvement on the unit. Not a big improvement, but it's something. I could have rerolled, I guess. Alright, this guy has sweep, right? I gotta remember that. I often get caught off guard and let my champion get murdered. Enemy units enter with armor 10. Ten is tough. But I really need a unit draft. 10 is going to be a real problem because, like, Vent won't be able to pick off the little dudes. And also they'll have enough health that dregs don't kill them. But I really, really want a unit draft. Plus I have that giant train steward, right? Maybe he'll be okay at killing the enemies. I don't want my champion on the first floor, I think. I think that what I want on the first floor is like my train steward and a bunch of dregs. And so I will on the second floor, I will place my champion. And I'll put a dreg here. I don't know, even just letting it die would be fine, because I'll reform it at the end of... Oh, actually, his resolve goes off first, doesn't it, before this combat happens? That's kind of a bummer. But let's see what I draw. Okay. I'll put the train steward in front, so the dreg gets to attack. And I don't feel compelled to consume these right now to make this guy last longer. I'll be honestly happy if he dies, because I'll get him reformed soon. But I wanted him to do some damage. I'm not just going to throw him away. But I'm not going to, like, invest resources in keeping him alive, is all I'm saying. Okay, it's just Sinner's Burdens. Fine. This guy doesn't count as an enemy, so he doesn't get armor. And I'll throw some dregs in here. Ah, this isn't the upgraded one, so he won't even die. What are we drawing? A tiny train steward. Let's put him here. So, a train steward and my last dreg up here kill these guys. Before they can get to my, Oh, whoops! I've just made it impossible to, play my big train steward. And I'll draw him if I play a Sinner's Burden. So instead, I will not play any of these cards to ensure that next turn I top deck a big train steward. I'll place him down here to fight the boss and hopefully get him reformed. Oh, I can't place him down here. I'll have to place him in here. Okay. Oh, this guy didn't die? I thought he was dying. Alright, so in that case, to get my... Remember, this guy has sweep. To get my big train steward out, I have to destroy a unit. The only one I can destroy is this. I love how they're bigger when you give them large stone. It's just adorable. These guys are all doing nothing. They just instantly die to the sweep attack. So I could put this guy down, but he would also die to 6+1+1. Maybe that's fine. Maybe I'm willing to just throw him down there and have him die. But it seems like he would be more productive up here, no? I don't know who I should vent on. I guess not up here, because it doesn't do anything, so therefore here. Alright, that was just 3 damage so far, not that bad. Yeah, that's all we're taking. We took this trial and it cost us 3 damage. I'm alright with that. I can't play this dragon here, but it's a pretty dang good one, so let's... I guess it doesn't matter what I'm doing, right? Since I'm winning. This is the grossest train steward of all time. I don't know. I'm sure there have been better ones, but this guy is exceeding expectations for what a train steward should be able to do. We got our unit draft. So it's a 0-5 that blows up when killed. Now this is interesting because this is not a random unit. You get to pick here. You can reform any unit you like. And so you might reform, for example, this guy. If after he blows up, you summon him again, he has Burnout 1, and he's bigger, and he's guaranteed to blow up again, right? Kind of cute. Of course, we can't draft both of them, but that's like a thing you could do. Or the better drag, or whatever. I'm inclined to take Molded, just with the goal of hopefully getting a good unit soon, and use it on him. I mean, speaking of units that you might be willing to play many times, Welder Helper? You put him down in the back and he gives somebody some armor, and then you torch him, and then he can get reformed again to apply more armor, and he burns himself out again, and you can summon him again. It seems like imps love having burnout, if possible. Because you mostly don't want the imps to live. They take up capacity. It's really their summon effects that are important. Yeah, I'll take it. And now here's our draft. Okay, well, what is this? Burnout 3. And whenever she's hit, all friendly burnout units get more burnout. So as long as she is tanking, your candles won't burn out, is the idea. Interesting. And she has good stats. Decent, anyway. Much better than this guy, for example. Yeah, I'll take her. Let's try to get her some health. Duplicate this train steward? I'm gonna be a little bit crunched for capacity, but it's pretty cool. We could grab an artifact, but like I'd rather have a unit and an insane unit than have an artifact. These all suck though. Like, Steelworker has in some occasions been fine for me in the past, and I've had very good runs where Branded Warrior were like the backbone, but they're not this one. Okay, yep, you can just take all my health. That will be fine. I wish I could click a little faster. Come on. Cards with Consume have a chance to be discarded instead. Ooh. That's probably good. Right? Like... I don't know. I often, like... It's kind of nice to give units Consume, in a way. Not units, cards. If they're, like, just not good cards, instead of, like, removing them from your deck, you can... Like, it'd be nice to remove them, but at least you can make them Consume, so you only play them once. But like, I don't know, our consume cards are probably gonna be fine. I'll take it. But it could be wrong. But we took a lot of damage there, didn't we? Did I hit 20? That can't be right. Maybe it was right. Maybe you pay 4 times? I don't know. I wasn't paying much attention. And I'll duplicate this train steward who's just disgusting. Constructed explosives enter with damage shield. Okay. Well, let's play the dregs down here. And here's the thing. I think I want one of them to die. And just tank for the Lady of the Reformed instead. Because I'll get to, like, re-summon him. Okay. Ah. Well, this is an improvement, isn't it? Because I can now play this imp and ping him down to get a guaranteed reform trigger this turn, which I wouldn't get if I counted on this dreg dying. It's a little bit awkward now that he's in front. I wish he were in back, but I had to play those cards before I knew what I was drawing. And this isn't a disaster. This is on its turn will go off. So these guys all attack into the dreg, who has 3 health left and then gets blown up. Then these two attack. Fine. I'm thinking of playing the imp up here to give my champion some armor. To make sure that he doesn't die and can continue reforming things. Also, a vent here looks pretty good. I haven't gotten my draw yet. Just keep that in mind, I guess. Okay. So I think I'll place the dreg behind the lady this time. And I sort of still want to ping down this guy. No, he's burning out anyway. Very good. I could ping him down to immediately resummon him with Molded, but I don't think I want to do that. Let's just kill this healer. Oh, I was meant to vent this floor, wasn't I? Here comes the big old train steward. And I don't believe I have any units who've died at the moment, so this doesn't do anything. This unit's dying whether I vent or not, and nothing else is taking damage. So I could vent here, but it's not really doing anything. I'll vent here. I could put down another train steward, I suppose. But I don't much want to. Alright, it's only going to do 10, that's fine. God, I have so many vents, huh? Okay, these guys are both at burnout 1, so it's really just her tanking that's keeping them alive. Oh my god, I forgot I have 2 of these. Maybe put this imp in here? Or maybe down here. One more card till I can draw. Oh, this guy's already been reformed twice, so he's actually an 11/11. Huh. I don't mind giving them extra burnout. I don't think it much matters. Did it actually get consumed? It did. This deals 12 damage to all enemy units. I don't need to do anything here. These guys will be killed by my champion on the next floor. Mostly by the train steward, I guess. So I think what I should do is... Well... This takes care... Yeah, this is actually pretty useful here. And then I'll just put down a dreg and... Yeah. I could play a burnout for no effect, but there's no reason to. Yeah, so that imp is like never gonna burn out now, which, you know, could be good, could be bad. At least he's an 11/11, right? Okay, so I do have one dreg in my dead pile, I think is what that means. So a reform would get him, but also it'll be automatically reformed by my champion coming up. I can't stop this from blowing up, but I could put a dreg in the way if I wanted. Don't know if I do want to. Seems fine? I don't know, I kind of want my dead pile to remain small so that these train stewards, once they die, I get them back, guaranteed. Burnout 2. Okay, so when if he does get reformed, he gets no special effects. I could just get this train steward killed if I wanted, but that doesn't seem very smart. Let's just play a dragon here to get it to die. I don't know. It seems okay. And then... deal 12 to all of these guys seems good. And vent here so I don't take the 4 damage. Now I've drawn this, and I could give these guys more burnout, but it doesn't really seem like they need it. I guess it's fine just to, like, get this out of my deck. Okay. And it, yeah, it did get consumed. Alright, so this looks like a turn to ping this guy and vent. I could play a dreg and a torch to trigger my draw. That would make the other 3 cards in my hand miss the shuffle. Do I want that? They're pretty bad cards, but like... What's the button for my discard pile? I bound it to something that I thought made sense, but maybe I didn't actually, because that's the default binding. My discard pile is also not very good, so I guess it doesn't really matter whether something misses the shuffle. So I don't think I will intentionally trigger a shuffle before playing vent. I'll just throw down some cards and vent, and who cares what I draw. Sure. This fight seems to be going pretty well. He's taking 219. Good, but not amazing. I don't really have any cards that will make any difference to what's going on here. I could ping this guy, but he still doesn't die, so I couldn't, like, replace him with a better drag. I guess I'll just put another drag here in the back. This guy has 30 health. Giving him 28 instead would not help, so I'll ping the boss. And I think that's gotta be the turn. Oh, you know what? I could, no cards, yeah. But this way I got to draw something. So I can vent as well and sneak in a tiny bit more extra damage. Okay, there we go. And he's dead now. Deal 27 damage. And then 2 more. Yeah, so capacity seems to be the limiting factor for me now, so that's almost certainly the upgrade I'm taking. I say almost because, hey, maybe some card that I get here would make me change my mind somehow. So the first time I saw this, like, plus 10 attack permanently, I was like, what? What do you mean permanently? It's always permanent, right? But this means not, like, just for the current battle, but for the rest of the run. So this starts as, like, a 10-5 with stealth, which is almost like a spell a little bit, but it gets better and better the more times you can play it. Huh. So this is an extinguish trigger that is kind of like reform, but not really, because it doesn't add burnout and it doesn't add defense, only attack. I'm more inclined to work on the Bounty Stalker and see if I could, like, give it multi-strike, for example. Because with my champion, I can potentially play it many times per battle, and it becomes, like, a pretty powerful attacker. Slay, gain 20 gold, huh? I hate when games like this give you a reason to grind out every battle. Because, I don't know. My, like, platonic ideal of a roguelike combat would be, like, where it's not possible to ever improve your strategic overall game by the results of combat. The best you can ever do is not make it worse. That way, you're not incentivized to do stuff that's boring and grindy. So I don't like stuff like this. And this isn't the first example in this game, right? There's, you know, I even just took another one. Where is he? This guy, right? This encourages you not to finish a battle you've already won. And I don't mean that that's, like, strictly awful. There's obviously, like, you could enjoy gameplay like that. It adds some more depth to the systems and so on, but I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me. I don't like how it works. I want you to be trying as hard as you can in each combat to win that combat, and there's these cards like this that set up conflicting objectives for you. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Do I need this? Like, not really. It could be quite good, I guess. And it's pretty small. Well, no, it's got 2. If it was 1 space, I think I would take it. But I'm pretty cramped for space, and I don't really want to play stuff like this. Do I? It's better than 2 dregs. Fine. We didn't take damage on that fight, did we? I don't think so. I think going over here is a good idea. I have some units I want to upgrade. I wouldn't mind some higher health, although it's not critical or anything. But especially, like, removing some cards is very good right now. It always is. There's that multi-strike. So I was thinking of giving it to this guy, who will eventually have a lot of attack. Okay. And we've also got a champion upgrade coming. Oof. 2 random units, huh? I mean, if our units are dying all the time, that's really good. But so far they haven't been. We ran out of units to reform in the last combat. And so we could try this to help him stay alive a bit. I don't know. It doesn't really like immediately help him, because even if he can't harvest anything, then Dark Calling 2 is actually even more health than this. This is break even. Even if one harvest, it's worse because he has less health, less attack. Only when you get to at least 2 harvests in his room does this become like better than, like, become not strictly worse, I guess. So I think it might be better to just reform 2 random units to make sure I can get whatever important units have died recently. I feel kind of bad about both of them. Alright, so let's give that guy multi-strike, that's the plan. And I think we just re-roll, basically. Ah, no, I could get her. She wouldn't mind one of these things. Like more burnout, more health, and more attack. And honestly, this stuff is so cheap, I could just give it to, like, 20 bucks is fine. Give it to a dreg with more burnout. What else do you have for me? I don't know if I can afford another large stone. I don't have that much capacity. If I gave the Bounty Stalker more health, on the one hand, that's like... I'm sorry, did I not give him multi-strike? What happened? I gave it to the Paraffin Thug? Well, that might be okay, I guess. Yeah, I got them confused. They were 2 new units. Okay, that wasn't what I meant to do. But if I gave more health to the Bounty Stalker, on the one hand it's good because you could imagine later, once he's got like 70 attack or something, you would want him to be able to stay alive to keep using that 70 attack. But like, it makes it harder to actually increase his attack because he won't die as often. And also, like, even if he does die, who cares? Just summon him again, right? So I don't think we want to give him more health. The person we want to give more health to is the Lady of the Reformed. And I guess giving this guy more attack is pretty good since he's multi-striking. Makes it more likely he would be able to slay twice. Alright, so please remove from my deck torches. And a train steward. I'm gonna buy another removal here of another train steward. Non-boss enemy units get +6 attack. That sounds fine to me. Yeah. Alright, so this guy has Stealth 1. But he just wants to die. He doesn't care about killing enemies at all, really. So I think maybe put him behind this train steward. And if I put my dude on this floor, he'll get to fight in the next combat, although not do anything terribly important. I think it's still better to put him up here. He's just not a very good unit. And now... Yes. Oh gosh. These guys attack for a total of 13, which is just enough to kill him before he gets his multi-strike off. And his attack would gain 40 coins, right? I think we put him here. And next turn, just put anything in front of him is the idea. I feel a little silly about not summoning this guy, but I think that this combat is kind of under control. Oh, I should have put him in front. What was I thinking? I forgot that I want him to die. So we put one dragon front to tank all the damage. And another one... Excuse me? Oh, this guy has 30 health. Another one in front to chip away at... Hang on. I want to make sure this guy gets 2 kills. And I also want to get to this thing. I played 1 card so far. So if I put a Lady of the Reformed here, she attacks for 15, then he kills the 2 front units, and then I can put another Dreg in the back to kill this. Or actually a Dreg in the middle would be fine too. No, it wouldn't. It has to go here. I'd like to play this. Can I do so safely? I think it's fine. I'll just vent to kill this. Yeah, this doesn't even do any damage, so of course I don't need to be able to play it. I could give all these guys more burnout, but I don't really want to. I'd be happy if they burned out, and they won't because of her anyway, right? Well, she's taking no damage. I don't know. I think I'm happy to get this out of my deck. It did go out of my deck. I really did take that relic, right? Yeah, alright. Now we do 15 and then 50, that's another 20 gold. I need this guy to die. I should start torching him. Oh, I feel so stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I can't actually kill him, but I can start. I should have put this guy in the back. I don't want him protecting this guy in case that comes up. And a vent here to take out the healer is fine. Yeah, we get both of these guys. We only get one slay trigger, but that's life. Yeah, I think I do actually torch this guy, which feels pretty stupid. And I could play a big dreg here. It still just dies. So maybe I play it in back to do a bit more damage. So now I draw. Ooh. And I can reform my assassin dude. Or I can just play this train steward up here. So they have a last line of defense. That's probably better. I feel like she's stifling me by making it actually hard for my units to burn out. But so far it's fine. Yeah. Let's try to keep the train steward alive. Now this guy just barely fits on this floor. Oh, let's get rid of this. And he'll immediately burn out, which is good for me. And then... what am I drawing if I play a card? I'm happy enough with that, I guess. I don't want to draw those next turn, I guarantee you that. Alright, so this combat's not amazing. I think I should play both dregs and then this to draw 2 cards. And then probably just vent for 3, killing these guys. In fact, I should play the dregs in front. So they tank for the train steward. He attacks for more than they do, so it seems like a winning play. Oh, this is a cheaper vent. Right, so now if I wanted... I could ping off my imp and hope to get him back. But mightn't it be better? No, I can't usefully reform this guy because... oh, if I ping the imp, I guaranteed get him back because the reform trigger happens before the combat down here. So I think that's the idea. I ping this guy down. And then I blow this room up. So I can summon him in here. Whew, that's a lot of damage. Right? This guy was at like over 100 health left when I summoned, before I summoned this imp. And I guess I'll just vent as my remaining turn. But like, he kept all these guys, he kept her alive, and she's keeping these guys alive, and he's doing damage. I don't know, so a lot was happening. Oh, I guess I should see what I draw. Okay, exciting. Oh, do I get... Oh my god, I get the gold. Amazing. So we got at least 100 gold in that combat. I don't remember exactly, but like... That guy seems pretty good. Reform a unit and enhance it with an additional 10 attack. Meh. I mean, you do get to choose, right? That's something. Endless. Extinguish. Draw 1. So this is like a pretty mediocre draw engine that combos well with stuff that cares about Extinguish. For example, like with stuff that harvests, I guess is the right word for it. If we had taken the champion that harvests, this would be a pretty cool thing to put up on his floor. Apply stealth to the friendly units. That seems pretty good. Like, stealth is way better than damage shield. And it's 2 stacks of it applied to all friendly units for 1? That seems great. Sacrifice Imp is appealing just because it might be a little hard to get rid of this guy sometimes, and getting energy out of it is nice, and we're often drawing, so that's cool. The other consideration is that armor card. It helps me reorganize the order things are in, which could be useful if I decide I want to kill off a Dreg, for example. I can move it to the front instead of keeping it behind the Lady of whatever. Lady of the Reformed. I think keeping important work just for my 1 welder helper is kind of like, I don't know. But I don't have to collide them in hand. They just have to. I just have to draw this after I've played my imp, and that seems not that hard to do. Huh. I mean, some of these cards look like they could be playable, but none of them look crucial, right? And my deck is already full of junk. I don't think I need these. There's more card removal. Oh, this guy offers artifacts. I love artifacts. And I have 480 gold. Units gain extra upgrade slots. I mean, I have a couple of pretty insane units to upgrade. These are kind of meh. I'm summoning a lot of units, and I don't know. Maybe I should take this. Like, I play a few units per turn, and then I draw cards, and it seems like you should have some energy if you're doing all that, right? But none of my stuff is actually expensive. Often I'm playing zero-cost cards, either because they're dregs or because they're reformed. So it just doesn't seem that impressive. I think I'll reroll. Huh. I mean, I don't own any demons. Conserving energy between turns... I have more energy than I need already. It would really just be to power Vent, which is not a very good card. Or maybe some other X-cost cards I get someday, but... it doesn't seem that likely. Alright, so let's remove... a Vent. Well, no, let's remove this Train Steward. And like a torch? This? Adding more burnout has not really been very meaningful to me all game. But also, like, I don't know, these dregs suck. I've been kind of surprised at how often I can play them to accomplish something. Right? Throw them in front of a unit to block damage for a while, like once, and then get them back with Reform. Put them behind something to add a little extra damage. Whereas, like, I've never actually gotten any value out of this. And I'm going to, in fact, remove the other one as well. Should I remove another card? I probably should. Torching this imp has been fun, but I don't need 2 torches. 1 is enough. Alright, this guy has multi-strike. Do I want to give all the units multi-strike? Seems fine. They all have pretty weak attacks. We need to be careful he doesn't get any slay, but when would he, right? Yeah, just give me the artifact. I'm gonna put her up here with the thug behind, as usual. And I think I should put a dreg in. Ah, yes, this drew me cards. Let's armor her. The thing is, next turn, I'd like this guy's 50 damage to be a killing blow here. How could I accomplish that? He'd have to have 35 or less health. We'd have to deal 35 damage. These two together can deal 24. If I play this imp, how am I going to come up with 11 more damage? You know, coming up with 11 damage is hard, but it's not, like, impossible, right? A dreg plus a torch or a vent would do it. So, what's the stats on my Bounty Stalker? The Bounty Stalker would do it also, but he's too big, right? Yeah. So I think that what I do is I just set these guys up on the top floor again. The multi-strike is actually going to help me with burnout. Not that I really need the help. Oh, this guy has sweep. Right. That's why he's a threat. Right, and that gives him slay. Yikes. So putting another dragon here actually won't help. I'll vent here, I guess? Is there anywhere I want to put my last dreg? I could put him up here. Just to let him burn out, basically. It's not amazing. Also, it would give this guy even more slay next turn, right? Well, let's think about that. He'll be attacking for 5 times 2 is... Oh no, Slay gives him 2 rage, not 2 attack. So he'll be attacking for like 14, good heavens. So this guy would just die to no effect. And then my champion will just barely kill him off. Okay, so better not to play any dregs then. This is currently dealing 3, so Vent is better. We're getting the kill there, we're getting the kill here. With this guy, which is nice. 15 and 25 is 40. If I could come up with 6 damage here, I'd be happy. I guess a Dreg would do it? Good. Sadly, I can't stop this Master of Light from getting 2 Slay triggers. I don't think. I don't think I can do anything smarter than just venting down there. I could reform a Dreg. Is there any reason to do that? I don't see one. I'm gonna get it reformed anyway for next turn, and it might be more impactful then than it is now. It certainly couldn't be less impactful. Yikes. Yeah, this guy's more serious than I realized. With his Slay trigger and Sweep, which I didn't realize he had. I was just like, well, let's just not let him kill anything. With Sweep, it's hard to stop him. And then he has Multi-Strike, which is disgusting. So I could reform the Bounty Stalker. Reform gives 5/5, so he would have 45/10. Not enough to survive this. This guy's a real problem. And it's about to get much, much worse. Put some Dragon here just to do a little extra damage and get me this draw, see what's coming up. This now does 12 damage for 2, so I guess that goes here. And then a Vent in here takes care of the back line. Yeah, I mean, this guy attacks for 30. And he has Sweep, so... Ah, but you know what? This guy has Stealth. So his 45 damage I can kind of lock in, right? And this 21 is 67. And a Vent for 2 is enough to finish this guy off. So I'll lose my champion, but I can stop this guy from getting to the pyre by playing these 3 cards. That leaves me 1 Ember to work with. I could reform paraffin thug, I guess, behind the Lady of the Reformed. Just double check the math on that. Also, I'd be drawing this train steward for what that's worth. This guy has 67. We play this for 21. He's at 46. This for 6. He's at 40. This is 45. He'll immediately burn out, like, permanently. But that's well worth it to prevent just an absolute truckload of pyre damage. I guess I could torch instead of vent, but I don't think I should. I don't think it matters. Oh, wait, I don't need to. This kills him already, so I can save the energy. I'm not sure how I counted that wrong. No, 46 is definitely more than 45. Okay. Ah, it's because I was hovering this and I saw 44. But that's only because I was playing it. Gotcha. And... oh, I don't have an energy to play with because the vent costs 1. I'm not sure why I thought I would. Let's go ahead and play this guy here. I don't really have an overwhelming board here. I probably should play a Fatal Melting up here. And then reform something powerful. How's Our Lady doing? She has plenty of burnout left. Yeah, so let's clear you out to save 10 damage. And reform... oh! I could take my champion. I didn't think of that. That's a pretty slow play, though, right? Because he's only going to be attacking for like 25. This guy's going to be attacking for like 60. But on the other hand, he'll just burn out. Oh, both of them will. I wish I could see the combat situation on the bottom floor. Like, how much space do I have in there? And how is the combat going? This modal dialogue makes me upset. I was really glad when Slay the Spire added the, like, View Battlefield button. I could reform the Bounty Stalker and get in, like, at least 55 damage, and I think 110. And then he'd be available to reform again next turn. This guy gets in 50 damage, maybe more. I'm not sure. Yeah, give me this guy. Okay, there's a lot more health down here than I thought. Good. And, I don't know, I guess none of these cards do anything. Oh, but he burns out after one round of combat. But it's okay, I guess. There wasn't much we could do about that. Play this Train Steward in front. This guy's attacking for 25, so after 3 rounds, he'd be through me. The problem with putting him in front is that this Dreg then burns out before it's time, before the lady can protect him. So if I put him in back, this lady just instantly gets wiped. And it's more important to save her than him because she attacks more, right? So we put him in front. And then do 39 damage. It's not amazing, but... do I want to draw 2? No, I want to draw that molded while I have Ember to play stuff. This combat's still not going great. So I only get 1 unit, huh? And he's attacking for 25. Well... if I bring back a trade steward, they would have burnout 1. So it would only get to attack once for 20. If I bring back Paraffin Thug, he just kills it, so it doesn't attack at all. Well, I guess 25, so it would be reformed with more attack. If I bring back Lady of the Reformed, it has plenty of burnout, but it only gets to attack twice, and that's 30. So I think that the best play is the Bounty Stalker, because it has enough stealth that it gets to attack once, and that's 70, which is better than my other lines. Oh, I drew that again? Oh, my deck is almost empty. This is my whole deck. Huh. Well, you know, if I'd realized that, I think I would have played Torch instead of Fatal Melting. And then I could actually play Molded again. I would have done 2 damage instead of 48. But then I could summon the Lady of the Reformed to act as a tank. Or actually, a Train Steward might be better. No, because this guy has Burnout 3. I'm not sure. I get a couple more rounds of combat this way. I didn't realize my entire deck was in the consume pile. Am I dead? I think I must be, right? Yeah. Interesting. Maybe if I had played that last turn differently, I might have salvaged things. I mean, it wasn't an especially good run that I'm like, oh geez, I really messed it up at the end. It was just like, you know, we finally ran out of steam. We did some stuff that was strong in the early game, but didn't really lend itself to moving into the late game. Or even, I guess, the mid game. So Piercing, deal 5 damage. Okay, so this is like, Cultist's Dagger? Cultist? What is it? What is that called in Slay the Spire? Cultist's Dagger? Cultist's Blade? The one that has, fatal increased damage. You get it from cultists. When you play a unit, a random card in hand is reduced to 0 for the turn. It's a good artifact, I guess. Unbelievable. We got a new personal best for amount of burnout applied. Can you guys believe it? We must be excellent. Alright, well, that was the Melting Remnant. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.